In terms of cultivation, Palm's sovereign had already reached the void tribulation stage. Apart from a handful of people, no one could match him. As for his status, even though he was once a servant on the immortal firmament continent, to outsiders, he appeared as if he were a nobleman, commanding respect. In this cave mansion realm, he was even the leader of the 5 sovereigns of the outer realm. For countless years, his position was so high that countless cultivators revered him, and many clans viewed him as a godlike figure, far above them. He also had the Council of Elders. A single word from him could spark a catastrophe in the outer realm. Even some immortal consorts could not act arrogantly in his presence. This was Palm's sovereign. Even within the inner realm, his name was notorious. Almost everyone who knew of him felt a sense of fear, as every event from the past had proven Palm Sovereign's deep schemes, making him impossible to predict. From the time he ruthlessly surrounded and killed Sealing Venerable, to the Rune clan's arrival triggering Qing Lin, and his involvement in the destruction of the 4 great immortal realms, to his leaving countless seeds in the inner realm, War Xingye, the great disciple of the heavenly breaking sect in the Sea of Clouds, and Waterpath Master, all had connections to Palm Sovereign. He also ignited one war after another, both inside and outside the realms, becoming the leader of these battles. The number of cultivators who died at his hands could cover an entire starry sky. Before encountering Wang Lin, Palm Sovereign had only been forced into a difficult situation 3 times. The first was when he was pushed by 7 colors and had to accept him as a master. But the fact that 7 colors Daoist could force him shows that Palm Sovereign possessed great talent. The second time was when he first met the War Ghost, who had entered the ancient star of antiquity to steal worship power. In their battle, Palm Sovereign was defeated. He never forgot those 3 words, War Ghost. The third time was when Palm Sovereign entered the inner realm to search for the legendary Li Guang's arrow. He was severely injured by a powerful roar and had to flee in disarray. Apart from these 3 times, Palm Sovereign was a figure of power and had never made a mistake, until he met Wang Lin, who seemed like his natural nemesis, almost driving him to madness. The first time he plotted against Wang Lin was when Wang Lin entered the ancient star of antiquity. Palm Sovereign tried to extract Wang Lin's soul using the well-digging technique, but this time, Blue Dream Dao Sovereign stopped him. Moreover, with the opening of the ancient burial ground, he lost track of Wang Lin's aura. This incident could still be considered an accident, and Palm Sovereign didn't think too much of it. But soon after, the second time occurred. At the entrance to the ancient burial ground, Palm Sovereign watched helplessly as Wang Lin sealed away much of the outer realm's power. Just as he was about to rescue him, Wang Lin used the power from the lowest level of the ancient burial ground to let out a massive roar. This roar was like a sharp sword, colliding directly with Palm Sovereign, causing him to spit blood and retreat hurriedly. This, too, could be called an accident, though Palm Sovereign understood the reason behind it. Still, the situation wasn't over yet. There was a third encounter in the Sea of Clouds battleground, when his disciple brought out Li Guang's bow, ordered to send it into the inner realm. This attracted War Ghost, and in their battle, the bow ended up in Wang Lin's hands. That alone wouldn't have been so bad, but after the battle, Wang Lin actually acquired Li Guang's arrow, which made Palm Sovereign's mood turn darker. However, even at that point, Palm Sovereign didn't take Wang Lin seriously. He still believed that the previous events were mere accidents. Even with the bow and arrow, Wang Lin couldn't unleash their full power because of his bloodline. Killing Wang Lin would still be as easy as turning his palm. It wasn't until the 4th time, when he and many powerful beings from the outer realm used the well-digging technique to create the illusory reality realm and lured Wang Lin there, intending to kill him, that Palm Sovereign made his move. This time, he had planned everything, leaving no room for error. He even forced Wang Lin to use all his power. Despite Wang Lin releasing the immortal Aura Soul, sealed by Dao Ancient Yemo, it still didn't change his death. Palm Sovereign was certain that this time, nothing would go wrong. But, to his shock, once again, an accident occurred. The appearance of the madman caused immense turmoil in Palm Sovereign's heart, and this time, his life and death battle completely fell apart. Not only did he fail to kill Wang Lin, but his own power was also greatly increased because of it. This incident caused Palm Sovereign's frustration to reach its peak. Still, he refused to admit Wang Lin's greatness, believing it was mere luck. It wasn't until the 5th time, when Wang Lin shot him with an arrow, killing him, that Palm Sovereign finally came to his senses. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, each time an accident. But after the 5th, how could this still be an accident? This wasn't just an accident. Wang Lin was clearly his nemesis. Wang Lin was like a thorn in Palm Sovereign's heart, deeply embedded within him. Every time he thought of it, frustration surged within him, almost driving him mad. This time, there will be no mistake. Palm Sovereign's figure appeared 10,000 feet away from Wang Lin. He stared at Wang Lin, his sleeves sweeping dramatically, and his body transformed into a long rainbow, rushing straight toward him. At this moment, the power of his profound tribulation cultivation erupted with a deafening roar. As his cultivation spread, the starry sky trembled, and an invisible, terrifying wave swept through, causing Wang Lin to retreat step by step, his expression calm, but his body stumbling backward uncontrollably. The power of the Palm Sovereign was far beyond what he could withstand. As the Sovereign's cultivation erupted, it was as if the starry sky had transformed into an angry sea, and Wang Lin was like a lone leaf in that raging sea, continuously retreating in the face of the roaring waves. The old man has calculated that he only has the strength of 2 bows. There will be no more surprises. The 2nd bow has already been drawn, and I can no longer sense any immortal bloodline power from him. Li Guang's bow, he can't draw it. The Palm Sovereign's eyes revealed a strong killing intent. His desire to kill Wang Lin was overwhelming. If he didn't kill Wang Lin, he could hardly enter a state of tranquility. It wasn't surprising that the Palm Sovereign felt this way. Wang Lin seemed to possess an immortal body, surviving through every life or death situation. The Sovereign had almost despaired in the past, even subconsciously believing that Wang Lin was nearly indestructible. Every time, at the brink of death, Wang Lin would defy the odds and turn the tide. This strange reversal seemed as though an invisible force was altering everything. Despite its mysterious nature, the Palm Sovereign had nearly come to believe it. This time, I refuse to believe there will be another surprise. Damn it! Even if he calls his master out, I will kill this Wang Lin. He absolutely no longer has the strength for a 3rd bow. I will not be wrong. The Palm Sovereign's certainty stemmed directly from his knowledge of immortal bloodlines. After all, he was the madman's servant, the one who had forced Wang Lin's immortal, indestructible body blood to surface within the illusory reality formation. He knew that this bloodline power determined how many bows could be drawn. This was something only he could accurately calculate. With his eyes burning with killing intent, the Palm Sovereign moved forward. As his body stepped, the heavens shook, and the starry sky quivered, creating endless ripples that rushed in all directions. I will not be wrong. This time he will die? If I fail to kill him, I will take his surname. The desire to kill Wang Lin consumed the Palm Sovereign entirely. His expression was maddened, and even his mind seemed to have gone mad. Amidst the roaring sounds, he instantly appeared in front of Wang Lin, who was retreating. His right hand lifted and struck with immense force. Die! Without any attempt at conversation, the Palm Sovereign launched his grand divine technique. Though his mind kept reassuring him that his calculations were correct, a faint worry lingered in his heart. He feared that, after talking with Wang Lin, something unexpected might happen. Additionally, this strike carried an underlying test, as the Sovereign had already experienced unexpected reversals from Wang Lin before. A giant palm imprint suddenly appeared between the Palm Sovereign and the retreating Wang Lin. As soon as it appeared, it expanded rapidly. It didn't grow excessively large, just 100 zhong, but it was dense and solid, looking almost real. After it materialized, it surged toward Wang Lin with thunderous force. Wang Lin's face turned pale, but his eyes betrayed no fear. Instead, he remained calm. The Sovereign's arrival was no surprise to him. Had the Sovereign not appeared, it would have given Wang Lin pause for thought. As the 100 zhong palm imprint howled toward him, Wang Lin's right hand suddenly lifted. At the center of his brow, the ancient god star mark glowed, while the demon star in his left and right eyes flickered. Waves of Dao ancient power gathered around him and converged onto his right index finger. Drawing inspiration from his immortal indestructible body, he created a divine technique of his own, the ancient clan indestructible finger. The moment he pointed, a surge of blue light erupted from his body. The cyan light shield materialized around him, swirling fiercely, and behind him, a massive shadow shield appeared. Even more astonishingly, a colorful butterfly flew out from behind the shield and landed on Wang Lin's shoulder. As its wings fluttered, vibrant dust fell, creating a scene of unmatched beauty from afar. Not yet the right time. Wang Lin's eyes glowed with a strange light. Everything happened in an instant. Just then, the massive palm imprint crashed toward him, colliding with his right index finger. Boom, boom, boom. The moment of contact, Wang Lin's entire body seemed on the verge of collapse as he spat out a mouthful of blood and stumbled backward. The palm imprint's fury continued, and his right index finger cracked, but in that instant, it reformed again. In just a few breaths, Wang Lin's finger shattered and reformed more than 1,000 times. The cultivation gap between them was like a chasm between heaven and earth, making it impossible for Wang Lin to bridge it. After a few breaths, though his right index finger could still hold on, his body could not. Wounds appeared across his body, and the pain was excruciating, as though his physical body were about to be destroyed. The light and shadow shield flickered and twisted, on the verge of shattering. The cyan light shield blazed with brilliant rays, cracking and twisting before being blasted back into Wang Lin's body. The 5-colored butterflies trembled, and with a shudder, they transformed into 5-colored light and dissipated. With this single motion, the starry sky trembled as a massive handprint materialized. This was the soul subjugation seal. As the soul subjugation seal appeared, Wang Lin's left hand flicked, and it morphed into a direct assault on the Palm Sovereign's massive handprint, colliding with a thunderous crash. Booms echoed incessantly. The unshakable soul subjugation seal shattered the moment it met the Palm Sovereign's handprint. Wang Lin's body was thrown back, blood pouring from the corner of his mouth. After their first clash, he was already gravely injured. Yet the Palm Sovereign's handprint hesitated for only a moment before howling back toward him. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed in fury. His right hand raised, pointing to the starry sky, and a surge of 7-colored light erupted, transforming into a 7-colored spear, roaring through the heavens, straight toward the incoming handprint. Another fierce collision shook the heavens, and Wang Lin's body was pushed back thousands of feet, his hands trembling, his legs drenched in blood. But the massive handprint was still intact. Though slightly dispersed, it was nowhere near as solid as before, yet it still rushed toward him, landing with the force of a crashing mountain. Wang Lin's eyes flashed with madness. The Palm Sovereign's power was not unexpected. This was the strength of the void cataclysm. As the handprint descended, Wang Lin's left eye blazed with flames, while his right glowed with thunder. His 3 great origins, along with the slaughter origin, erupted within him, and 6 phantom origin swords materialized around his body. With a swing, the 6 swords shot forward, piercing straight into the massive handprint in an instant. As they did, shockwaves rippled, clashing with the handprint, while Wang Lin surged forward, his expression fierce, his hands rising, filled with murderous intent. Tear the heavens. The technique he had obtained from Yemo, the Tear the Heavens technique, was unleashed for the first time. Wang Lin's hands clamped down on the starry sky, and as he shouted the words, "Tear the heavens," he violently ripped the sky apart. Boom! The starry sky before him violently shook, and a rift tore open as if the heavens themselves had been ripped apart. Taking advantage of the force, Wang Lin's hands tore at the Palm Sovereign's handprint, now pierced by 6 swords. In that instant, a phantom image of Dao Gu appeared behind him, a form distinct from the previous one, no longer just a head, but a vague body. This was the Dao Gu body, which appeared naturally after Wang Lin absorbed 8 drops of blood, though it had yet to be refined. The shadowy Dao Gu body stretched its arms out, and with a low growl, it tore forward alongside Wang Lin. The starry sky quivered as an indescribable tearing force swept through, rending the heavens, the starry screen, and everything in its path. including the Palm Sovereign's massive handprint. The handprint shattered. The 6 swords also shattered, turning to countless fragments that spiraled into Wang Lin's body. His hands were mangled and bloodied, every shred of Tear the Heaven's power relying entirely on his 10 fingers. Even the Daogu phantom behind him shattered with a deafening crash. Wang Lin was thrown back, blood pouring from his mouth in torrents, his body covered in blood mist. His face grew pale, but the madness in his eyes instantly dissipated, replaced by chilling calm. It was as if everything that had just happened was nothing more than a performance. This is the power of stepping into the void, profound peak of the void cataclysm cultivation, Wang Lin thought, staggering. Pain tore through his body, and his divine sense was hazy, injured by the backlash. The entire process had seemed long, but in reality, it had been swift. Even though the handprint had dispersed, the Palm Sovereign was laughing, completely certain that Wang Lin no longer had the power of the third bow. With no further hesitation, a cruel and malicious smile spread across his face as he moved toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin, let's see where you can run to this time. This star domain is sealed by me. You can't escape. The Palm Sovereign's heart was filled with joy. He had waited 3 years for this moment. As the Palm Sovereign approached, a howling sound echoed from the distant starry sky. Ripples surged, and the 7th immortal consort stepped forward with a dark expression. Following her, the melodious immortal venerable and the 9 heavens demon venerable appeared from another direction, all heading straight toward Wang Lin. The 3 of the 5 ancient sovereigns and the 7th immortal consort, each of whom could shake the inner and outer realms with their names, now stood united before Wang Lin. Their goal was the same, to kill him. As these 4 figures materialized, a cold light flashed in Wang Lin's eyes. This was what he had been waiting for. Only now, with all 4 present, could he achieve his plan's first step. The destruction of the outer ancient immortal domain and the chaos it would bring to this cave mansion realm would unbalance the powers. This was the first step of Wang Lin's plan. But with his cunning mind, how could he not foresee that once this plan was set into motion, there would be no escape for him? He would be trapped in the ancient star of antiquity, hunted down by others. His gaze flickered, and just as the Palm Sovereign's grim smile drew closer, Wang Lin suddenly halted his retreat. With a swift motion, his left hand reached out and grabbed the empty air. To his surprise, the Li Guang bow appeared in his hand. At the moment the bow appeared, the Palm Sovereign's expression changed drastically. His body instinctively halted, even retreating several hundred feet in an instant, his eyes filled with disbelief and shock. Impossible. You only have the strength of 2 bows. I will not make this mistake again. This cannot be. Bringing out this bow is nothing more than a distraction. You cannot draw this bow. The Palm Sovereign could not accept this turn of events. His careful calculations had once again failed, and the repeated setbacks were striking him hard, even threatening to destroy his confidence, shaking the very foundation of his Dao heart. At this moment, not only did the Palm Sovereign retreat, but even the 7th consort's face paled, her steps halting. The melodious immortal venerable and 9 heavens demon venerable also froze, their faces changing at the same time. You're just putting on an act. The Palm Sovereign's face went pale, his eyes wild with madness as he shouted at Wang Lin. But just as he roared, his words died in his throat. Under the Palm Sovereign's astonished gaze, Wang Lin's right hand rested on the bowstring, pulling it back fiercely. A hum resonated in the air, a beautiful sound that made the Palm Sovereign shudder. The memory of his death 3 years ago surged up uncontrollably, threatening to overwhelm him. Impossible. This can't be happening. Even if you draw the bow, you cannot summon the immortal chi to shoot the Li Guang arrow. The Palm Sovereign retreated, his face ashen. But in that instant, as Wang Lin fully drew the Li Guang bow, a ghostly light flashed, and the awe-inspiring arrow materialized. With the bow in his hand, Wang Lin locked onto the Palm Sovereign and the others ahead. Lifting his left hand, he pointed sharply, and the arrow aimed straight at the Palm Sovereign. The moment the arrow pointed at him, the Palm Sovereign's face turned deathly pale. The shock to his mind was unbearable. His schemes, one after another, were crumbling before Wang Lin, and despite his confidence this time, he realized yet again that he was wrong. I refuse to believe it. Everything you've done is an illusion. Even if you conjured the arrow, you have no immortal power to unleash the Li Guang arrow's illusion. The Palm's sovereign retreated, his face deathly pale. At that very moment, Wang Lin, with the bow drawn to its fullest, released a surge of golden light. The arrow shot out like a thunderbolt, a long streak of destruction, heading straight for the stunned Palm's sovereign. The giant handprint shattered instantly, pierced by the arrow, and the immense well of illusion collapsed as the arrow flew through. The sun, which had been suspended in the star-filled well, was powerless to stop the arrow and was instantly obliterated as it passed. The Palm Sovereign's expression twisted in despair and shock. This can't be. The arrow was too fast, and with a loud crash, it tore through the Palm Sovereign's body, causing it to disintegrate into pieces. His flesh and blood were blown away in a storm that scattered for tens of thousands of miles. The melodious Immortal Venerable and the Nine Heavens Demon Venerable both coughed up blood, their bodies exploding as their souls tried to retreat. But before they could, Wang Lin's sleeve flicked, and they were instantly pulled into his grasp. Only the seventh consort, despite vomiting blood and suffering grievous injury as the arrow passed, survived due to the protective treasures bestowed upon her by the Immortal Venerable. After the arrow whistled past, the blood and flesh of the Palm Sovereign, tens of thousands of miles away, rapidly reassembled, bringing him back to life once again. His face was pale, and as he gazed at Wang Lin, a fear the likes of which he had never known filled his eyes. At this moment, there was no longer any arrogance in him, nor any hint of certainty that he could withstand even a few more shots from Wang Lin's bow. Without hesitation, just like 3 years ago, the Palm Sovereign fled frantically, not daring to look back. At this moment, a brilliant 7 colors light suddenly surged across the starry sky. It seemed as if someone had arrived with the 7 colors light. The light spread, illuminating the entire sky. Even the 7th immortal consort, who had narrowly survived under the protection of her magic treasure, glanced at the 7 colors light in the sky with deep complexity in her eyes. He really came. Wang Lin's pupils contracted as he saw this, and without the slightest hesitation, he stepped back several paces. He raised his right hand and grabbed the air, immediately summoning a jade slip into his hand. He crushed it in his fist, and with a loud boom, the jade slip shattered into dust. Instantly, a fist-sized black hole materialized where the jade slip had broken apart. The black hole emitted a terrifying force, drawing in the surroundings with an eerie glow, enveloping Wang Lin's body, attempting to pull him inside. In the distant starry sky, amidst the spread of the 7 colors light, a phantom figure stepped forward. The figure was a middle-aged man, dressed in Daoist robes, his presence exuding an ethereal and majestic aura. Surrounded by 7 colors, his expression was calm at first, but when he saw Wang Lin crush the jade slip and a vortex black hole appear in his hand, a strange glint flashed in his eyes. Trying to escape this way? Not possible. As he spoke, the 7 colors Daoist casually raised his right hand and pointed at Wang Lin. At the moment he pointed, the 7 colors light in the sky exploded into dazzling brilliance, converging in front of him and merging into a single force. It became a 7 colors wind, which howled as it shot towards Wang Lin. The speed of the 7 colors wind exceeded the eye's reach. In an instant, it tore through space, and within less than 7 feet of Wang Lin, it was upon him. A chill spread from Wang Lin's heart, filling every pore of his body with a deadly sense of crisis. At the speed of the 7 colors wind, it seemed he would not have time to enter the vortex black hole. But there was no panic on his face. It was as if everything had been accounted for. Just as the 7 colors wind was about to strike, a jade hand suddenly reached out from the black hole. On the middle finger of this hand was a green ring, and as it emerged from the black hole, it collided with the 7 colors wind. Without a sound, the 7 colors wind instantly shattered, transforming into 7 colors mist that resembled 7 venomous snakes, entering the jade hand. A muffled groan of pain came from within the black hole as the jade hand trembled. In an instant, it formed a hand seal, which then split into 7 identical hands. Far away, the 7 hands overlapped, forming a circle. As they did, a fresh burst of 7 colors light radiated from the hands. With a soft slap, the 7 hands, each glowing with different hues, shot out as 7 colors light, speeding towards the 7 colors Daoist in the distance. At the same time, Wang Lin's figure was sucked into the black hole, disappearing into the starry sky of the ancient stars. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. Upon seeing the strange hand seal formed by the 7 jade hands, the Palm Sovereign's expression changed dramatically. His gaze fixed on the seal, and a gleam of realization flashed in his eyes. So it's her. The 7th consort was even more startled. Her face turned pale, and she instinctively took several steps back, muttering, "Elder sister. She's not dead." Only the 7 colors Daoist remained calm. As the 7 colors hand seal sped towards him, he casually raised his right hand and swept his sleeve forward. Immediately, the starry sky before him rippled with 7 colors waves, meeting the 7 colors hand seal with a thunderous crash. Booms echoed in the sky, and after a moment, everything vanished. The 7 colors Daoist closed his eyes, seemingly lost in thought. After a long pause, he slowly opened them and looked towards the east where Wang Lin and the black hole had disappeared. A hint of nostalgia flashed in his gaze. The 7 colors jade hand seal. I believe that's what it's called. What a pity. I only obtained the divine technique, not the complete memory. But wanting to escape in front of me? Impossible. The Li Guang Bao has fulfilled its mission. It's time for it to be recalled. The 7 colors Daoist lifted his head and took a step forward. In an instant, he vanished without a trace. Only the Palm Sovereign and the 7th consort remained in the starry sky, exchanging shocked glances, both recognizing the shock in each other's eyes. They were stunned by the appearance of the hand seal and the identity of its owner. The first consort of the Immortal Venerable. Also, the younger sister of the 7 colors Immortal Venerable's Dao partner. In the depths of the Cloud Sea Star domain within the inner realm, there was a giant crack, rarely known to lead anywhere. Inside, there were many ferocious beasts that often emerged to wreak havoc. At this moment, deep within the crack, in an unfamiliar, pitch-black starry sky, there was a massive beast several thousand zhang in size. This creature resembled a lion, but with a single horn growing from its head. On the majestic lion's head, just before the horn, a woman sat cross-legged. She was extraordinarily beautiful, her appearance beyond compare. At this moment, her face was pale, and her hands, forming seals, waved continuously in front of her. Before her, there was a swirling black vortex the size of a fist, seemingly devouring the surrounding darkness. After a short while, the vortex suddenly trembled, expanding rapidly. Eventually, when it reached a size of about 10 feet, Wang Lin's body stepped out from within it. As he stepped out, the vortex collapsed, disintegrating into countless specks of crystal light and vanishing. "Thank you." Wang Lin cupped his hands toward the woman sitting cross-legged. The extraordinary woman opened her eyes, revealing a trace of exhaustion. She looked at Wang Lin, and after a long pause, shook her head and sighed softly. "When we last met, your cultivation was still weak. I never expected that today we would meet again, and you've reached such a level. I thought you had forgotten the promise you made to me. It wasn't until a year ago, when I received the divine sense you sent through the jade slip, that I realized you hadn't forgotten. Back then, you helped me leave this place. I, Wang Lin, will never forget this. It's just that I've been tied up with trivial matters, so I arrived a bit late." Wang Lin smiled, lowering his gaze to glance at the massive lion beast that was now galloping through the starry sky, and then sat cross-legged beside it. When he decided to go to the ancient star of antiquity to destroy the outer ancient immortal domain, he had already planned an escape route. Wang Lin knew this journey wouldn't be simple. Once the 2 bows of power were used up, the Palm Sovereign would definitely pursue him. Even though Wang Lin was not as depleted as the Palm Sovereign claimed, the outer realm was the domain of the 7 colors Daoist. Once this person acted, with Wang Lin's cultivation, escape would be nearly impossible. Therefore, a year ago, during the revolving wheel formation meditation, he sent out his divine sense through the jade slip this woman had given him. Through this long-lost contact, they reached an understanding. The reason he sought her help was because, through various clues and his own knowledge, He was about 60% certain that this woman was the missing first immortal consort of the immortal venerable. After their brief communication through divine sense, the woman revealed her identity, confirming Wang Lin's suspicion. She was indeed the first immortal consort. I was once the first immortal consort of the Seven Paths sect's Seven Colors immortal venerable. I mentioned this when we communicated through divine sense. I also have another identity, that of the sister of Fan Shanming, the Dao companion of the Seven Colors immortal venerable. My name is Fan Shanlu. The beautiful woman spoke softly. Earlier, when we exchanged divine sense, you learned that this is just a cave abode. I will not hide anything from you anymore. It's true. The Seven Colors immortal venerable, during the Nine Yang's second battle, used my sister as bait to gain treasures. He then sealed off the Seven Paths sect. Here, I can't trust anyone from the immortal firmament continent, and I was injured by the Seven Colors immortal venerable, so my cultivation has never recovered. Only when you appeared did I feel we had no conflicting interests and could cooperate. The woman continued in a gentle voice. You want to take the cave mansion cultivators and leave this place for the immortal firmament continent. I will help you. The immortal firmament continent is a very unique place. It's vast and chaotic, with constant wars. Peace between the sects is rare. If you want to stand firm there, you must have your own sect. However, all the good places have already been occupied. To be honest, with your cultivation, you can't seize a sect gate. Moreover, the cave mansion realm is a virtual place, and the creatures here are, in essence, fake. Throughout history, I've rarely heard of anyone from the cave mansion realm stepping out into the immortal firmament continent. I need to tell you this in advance, the woman explained. Wang Lin remained silent, listening to her words. But there's a way, she continued. It comes at a great cost. You'll have to endure the penalty of entering the immortal firmament, which I've heard of. However, this penalty can only be survived if your cultivation has reached the void cataclysm stage in the cave mansion realm. I can help you with this. Wang Lin's expression remained calm, with no sign of disturbance, causing the woman to look at him with a slight appreciation. My sister is not dead. After a pause, the woman spoke again. Wang Lin's gaze sharpened, but he remained silent. She's not here. She's in the immortal firmament. The sect gates of the immortal firmament are hard to obtain, but if you kill the Seven Colors immortal venerable, the Seven Paths sect will be yours. Neither my sister nor I want anything. We are not people of the Seven Paths sect, but core disciples of the Great Soul sect, one of the 9 sects and 13 schools in the Eastern immortal firmament. Back then, both of us were blinded, our hearts tied to the rainbow immortal venerable. The woman gritted her silver teeth, her face twisted with resentment. Even after you acquired the Seven Paths sect's mountain gate, if you wish to continue cultivating, my sister and I can introduce you to the Great Soul sect. As for the penalty of entering the immortal aura, I will have my sister seek the master and ask her to intervene, reducing the punishment for you. Wang Lin remained silent, and after a long pause, he slowly spoke. What about the other cultivators in the abode realm, besides me? The extraordinary woman was about to speak when suddenly her expression changed. She whipped around, and at the same time, Wang Lin's face turned grim, and he swiftly turned to look behind him. In the starry curtain behind them, a streak of rainbow light flickered like starlight. From a distance, it appeared as though the sky had been torn open, with the rainbow forcefully forcing its way through. Wang Lin's pupils constricted. Without hesitation, he stepped forward. His speed was explosive, and in the blink of an eye, he moved across a wide area. Behind him, Fan Shanlu was equally decisive, her body swaying like a colorful butterfly, following him closely. As they fled, her jade-like hand raised, slapping at the lion beast in the air. The beast immediately roared, charging into the incoming rainbow light as if maddened. Blood sacrifice. Fan Shanlu's eyes flashed, and she whispered the words. The moment the words left her mouth, the lion beast's body was immediately engulfed in blood-red light. With a deafening explosion, it burst apart, turning into a blur of flesh and blood, raising a crimson mist that spread out with the shockwave. In the sky, a series of sharp, eerie howls echoed from all directions. A surge of vicious, beastly auras arose, charging toward them. Wang Lin unleashed all his power, transforming into a long, rainbow-colored streak that tore through the sky. At times, he blended into the stars, moving faster with each blink. This way, Fan Shanlu was slightly faster than Wang Lin. Although injured, her cultivation was still exceedingly high, and despite her condition, she had suppressed much of her power over the years. In a flash, she passed Wang Lin, leading the way. She didn't head straight ahead, but veered to one side, flying rapidly in another direction. Wang Lin's eyes flickered, and without hesitation, he followed her closely. However, at that moment, a cold snort echoed from behind them. The sound, though not as thunderous as a storm, carried a terrifying pressure and sonic shockwave. Behind them, hundreds of vicious beasts had appeared, drawn in by the blood mist. The moment they arrived, a chilling shriek followed, and one by one, they seemed to be struck by an immense force, being flung backward. With crashing sounds, all the beasts' bodies exploded apart. Drops of blood and chunks of flesh flew past Wang Lin, making his expression even darker. Amid the explosion of the beasts, a streak of rainbow light pierced through their disintegrating bodies. The rainbow Daoist appeared, calm and composed, hands clasped behind his back, walking toward them step by step. Wang Lin, give me the Li Guang bow and arrows. His words were slow, but when they reached Wang Lin's ears, they struck deep into his heart, causing his body to tremble, and he coughed up blood. Fan Shanlu grabbed Wang Lin's arm, her face pale, and hurriedly pulled him forward. I remember you. You're the Immortal Venerable's first consort. Why are you running from the Immortal Venerable? The Rainbow Daoist's gaze swept over them and landed on Fan Shanlu. He raised his right hand and flicked his sleeve, summoning 9 crimson firebirds. These firebirds were not vermilion birds, but their intense heat surpassed even that of a vermilion bird. More remarkably, they carried the aura of a cultivation star. These were not mere firebirds. They were 9 burning cultivation stars, or perhaps 9 suns. With a flick of his sleeve, the 9 firebirds screeched and shot toward Wang Lin and Fan Shanlu like blazing rainbows. Block them. In the moment of crisis, Wang Lin could no longer hold back his strength. He roared, his right hand sweeping outward. Without hesitation, Fan Shanlu leapt backward using his force. As she did, she pressed her palms to her chest, spitting out blood as she let out a tragic cry. Great Soul Dao, soul summoning nether, offer my soul, split a realm. Raising her right hand, Fan Shanlu grasped the blood mist she had just expelled. It merged into her right hand and transformed into a blood-red long sword. With the sword in hand, Fan Shanlu slashed at the incoming firebirds. As the sword fell, it shattered with a deafening roar, splitting into 9 parts, each aimed at one of the 9 firebirds, offering some resistance. Taking advantage of this moment, Wang Lin didn't hesitate. He reached out with his left hand into the empty space, and immediately, the Li Guang bow appeared. Gripping the bowstring with his right hand, Wang Lin shouted loudly. His forehead veins bulged, his eyes flickering with golden light, and in a single motion, he drew the bow. The Li Guang bow, which had been carefully calculated by the Palm Sovereign, should have been foolproof. Wang Lin indeed only had the strength for 2 more shots. However, what the Palm Sovereign didn't know was that in Wang Lin's hand, there was still a drop of immortal blood. This drop of blood had been obtained years ago by Su Ligo and Lu Jinbiao, who had deceived the madman to get it, only for Wang Lin to take it for himself. It was this extra drop of blood, though the bloodline power it contained was minimal, that allowed Wang Lin to defy the Palm Sovereign's calculation. With a hum, as the Li Guang bow was drawn, the arrow transformed into a dazzling form. The instant it took shape, Wang Lin's right hand released the string with a sharp snap. The bowstring recoiled with a loud sound, propelling the arrow through the air. In that moment, the whistling of the arrow as it tore through the air drowned out all other sounds of heaven and earth. The arrow zipped past Fan Shanlu's ear, the wind it created lifting her hair and severing a few strands of her black locks. As the arrow flew past, it collided directly with the 9 firebirds. Boom, boom, boom. A massive shockwave erupted, sending Fan Shanlu flying back. Blood dripped from the corner of her mouth, and she staggered, but was quickly grabbed by Wang Lin's arm. Without a glance at the arrow's path, the two of them turned and fled. 400,000 miles ahead is my cave mansion. There's a restriction array there that can hold for a while. Fan Shanlu urgently communicated with her divine sense. Wang Lin said nothing, gripping her arm, his body flickering as they vanished without a trace. By the time they reappeared, they were already about 200,000 miles away. Wang Lin's face was pale, but he pressed on, dashing forward again. Is he the Rainbow Immortal Venerable? Wang Lin asked, his body flickering ahead like a shooting rainbow, not daring to pause for a second, while his divine sense entered Fan Shanlu's mind. He is, but he's not. Before Fan Shanlu could finish, a slow voice echoed from behind them, out in the starry sky. Of course I am the Rainbow Immortal Venerable. I didn't intend to kill you. I only want the bow and arrows back. This is your last chance. Give them to me. From afar in the starry sky, the Rainbow Daoist's figure slowly emerged, unchanged in appearance. Remarkably, that arrow had no effect on him. But Wang Lin refused to believe it. It wasn't the time to investigate further. If the other party was hiding something, Wang Lin could not discern it now. Enough. Since you seek death, I'll help you, the Rainbow Daoist said with a regretful look. He raised his right hand and pointed at Wang Lin and Fan Shanlu. In that moment, a seven-colored crystal flickered into existence at the tip of his finger. As soon as it appeared, it shot forward, heading straight for Wang Lin and Fan Shanlu. In an instant, the crystal neared with a thunderous boom. It suddenly shattered, and seven-colored light engulfed the surrounding area for tens of thousands of feet. From a distance, it seemed as if the crystal was still present, but in truth, it was the same one that had disappeared earlier. In that moment, the crystal began to rapidly shrink, making a creaking sound. Wang Lin felt excruciating pain as immense pressure surged from all directions, attempting to crush his body completely. Fan Shanlu's face turned pale. In this critical moment, she raised her right hand, formed a seal, and the seven-colored jade hand seal appeared once more. It surrounded her, and she spat blood onto the seal. Sister, help me. Her voice was filled with extreme anguish, and as it echoed, the starry sky trembled. A foreign presence seemed to materialize out of nowhere. Simultaneously, in the immortal firmament continent, in a frozen wasteland, everything appeared white, with snowflakes falling from the sky. The surroundings were so cold that even cultivators would struggle to survive here. In the heart of this frozen wasteland stood an ice mountain, where a woman sat cross-legged. Her appearance was strikingly similar to Fan Shanlu's. In that instant, the woman opened her eyes, and her right hand rose to her brow. With a single finger, a seven-colored light suddenly burst forth from her forehead. At the same time, in the cave mansion realm's cloud sea rift, Fan Shanlu's brow also erupted with seven-colored light. It was as if a foreign power had mysteriously entered her body, causing a tumultuous surge within her. Using this power, the seven-colored hand seal in front of Fan Shanlu blazed with light, expanding rapidly, reaching hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of feet in size. It forced open the shrinking crystal. The sound of the crystal's collapse rang out as it shattered. In the instant the crystal broke, 7 enormous palm imprints shot toward the Rainbow Daoist. I exerted all my strength. Take me with you. Fan Shanlu's eyes dimmed, and as she staggered back, Wang Lin caught her in his arms. With a sudden shift, they disappeared without a trace. When they reappeared, it was nearly 2 million miles away. Before them was a massive ship, roughly the size of a mortal city. The ship's entire body was purple, appearing extraordinarily magnificent. Surrounding it were layers of protective barriers, enveloping it in all directions, emanating a powerful aura of pressure. Especially striking were the banners on the ship, which moved without wind. On the fabric, a ghostly face materialized, sending a chilling, terrifying aura. Wang Lin, holding Fan Shanlu, stepped into the protective barriers. As a flash of light appeared around Fan Shanlu's body, the two of them passed through without any hindrance, safely entering the ship. Who exactly is he? Wang Lin landed on the ship's deck and asked Fan Shanlu. This question had weighed on his heart for far too long. During the final battle at the cave mansion, Wang Lin would never retreat.